Oh, hey guys, welcome back. I just started a cutscene.
You play blitzball?
Uh-huh.
You know, you should go to Luca. Someone might know who you are, or you might find someone you recognize.
Luca?
Luca?
My nephew's name is Luca. Maybe my brother named him after the Final Fantasy X character.
Okay, leave it to me. I'll get you to Luca. Promise. You'd rather stay here?
And I wouldn't
Okay,
put it
I'll go
past
tell the
him.
others. Wait here. Oh, and one thing. Don't tell anyone you're from Xanarkand, okay? Yevon says it's a holy place. You might upset someone.
Oh, uh-huh.
Okay, the story in this is pretty cool. I like it.
My Xanarkand? Some kind of holy place? Yeah, right, I think. Since when?
I don't like narration.
Yevon? Sin? Luca? I thought Sin just took me to a faraway place. That I could go back in a day or two. But 1,000 years into the future?
There's no going back.
No way! Whoa, whoa!
Beep 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 beep. Is that Sin? Doesn't look big enough. Okay, this cutscene I can look up what my note is today. Beep 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 burp 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 beep 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 beep. Oh, I guess I would like to do that. I always have to look down and make sure that light is red. Yes, I definitely have a habit of just like, I think I always do like 10 saves before I start saving over old stuff. But up here, I only did 2. Maybe that was my brother. I did have a pretty weird note that maybe it fits the theme of the Final Fantasy X weirdness. Luca. Part of this is like, I don't really worry about this.
Riku!
I don't really want to talk over the cutscene. There's a lot of cutscenes.
Blitzball!
Hey, you okay?
Hey!
It's interesting that Blitzball is still around after 1,000 years. None of the rules have changed. I think the idea is that like the sin thing comes every 1,000 years, so like civilization doesn't have a chance to advance, or like it advances in different ways.
Hiya.
You wanna try that move one more time?
Finally. Things were starting to look up.
Do the jet shot. That was our only ball, man.
You know amateur. Who you play for?
The Xanarkin Abes.
What did he say? Did he say Xanarkin Apes? It can't be.
What team you play in?
I meant, forget that. I got too, close to Sin, and my head's all foggy like. So, I don't know where this place is, or even where I came from.
Sin's toxin got to you, but you're still alive. Praise be to Yevon. All right, back to practice.
Yevon.
I'm Waka, coach and captain of the Besaid Oryx brother.
Oh, Waka. That's his name, right?
Okay, back to
So who's
business.
Luca?
I'll get you some.
I don't know what's going on. I want to play Captain Waka. Is heading the ball underwater like a thing? I don't understand this sport. Oh. Okay, I could take that guy's spot. He's a bench warmer. He's playing volleyball. What's his name? Jasu. Oh, what? What was my note? Okay, it's pretty weird. It's a pretty weird one. So, okay, more cutscene though.
I felt like I could trust this Waka, so I just had to ask. It's true Xanarkin was destroyed, right? 1,000 years ago? So it's just a big pile of rubble now, isn't it?
Long time ago, there were a whole lot of cities in Spira. Big cities with machina, machines to run them. People played all day and let the machina do the work. And then, well, take a look. Sin came and destroyed the machina cities. And Xanarkand along with him. Yeah, that was about 1,000 years ago. Just like you said. If you ask me, Sin's our punishment for letting things get out of hand. What gets me though is we gotta suffer because of what some goofballs did way back when. Of course, we must always repent for our sins. That's important. It's just that it's hard to keep at it sometimes, you know?
It was just as Riku said. Waka and Riku couldn't both be lying. Why would they?
You
Goofballs.
from the Xanarkand Daves, that was a good one, huh? Hey, I'm not saying that team never existed, yeah? But you gotta figure, a team living in luxury like that be pretty soft, eh?
I appreciated the fact that Waka was trying to cheer me up. But at that time, all I could think about was everything that happened to me. All this started with Sin. Maybe if I could
If I was a
Sin one more
better
time,
comedian, whenever he
go
takes a
home.
break like that,
For now,
I should make a
I just
joke,
live life
but I
until
can't
that
think of
time
anything.
came. No more worrying about where or when I was.
He said something like,
Sure, it was hard not to think
I
of
could
home,
trust him,
but I started to
so I
feel
had to
better
ask.
already. A little better.
That's where you're supposed to put a joke. I couldn't think of anything. Doo, boo, boo, doo, boo, boo, doo. I'm not a good Let's Player. When I was a kid, I remember thinking a lot about this movie I saw called Clock Stoppers. It's about this kid who gets a watch that can stop time. I remember thinking, like, if I ever got a watch like that, I would use it just to, like, think of smart stuff to say. Just like someone says something and I'll just pause and be like, what's something funny I could say right now? I think that's part of, like, my anxiety too, is like I never know what to say. So it would be like a nice fantasy to be able to stop time and think of something to say. I'm not gonna get to my note, I guess, today. This day went by quick. You know what? Let's do it. It's not really a fear. I don't stay up late at night thinking about this. But it is a weird thought I've had, which is like, I guess it's weird for me to say this and also be like a Christian, because obviously Christians don't believe this, but when you die, I mean, nobody knows what happens.
Hey, it's this way.
What if when you die, well, it's easier to think about, like, well, before you're alive, there's no consciousness. It's like darkness, right? Then after you die, you go back to the same thing. But then all you have to do is take that end part and then put it back at the beginning and be like, oh, then it would happen again, right? Does that make sense? You start from blackness, you go to consciousness, then you go back to blackness. But that means that there could also be consciousness on the other end of that part. And so you think, well, that's like kind of where reincarnation comes from. Like, you go dead and then you come back. And you always think you'll come back as a human, or maybe you'll come back as a dog or a plant. And then it's easy to think,
What's the big idea?
what if there's a planet out there with like that's like awful, I don't know, like the air is acid and you can't, there's never anything to like sustain yourself, and it's like torture, like a torture planet. What if you go to that planet? I don't know. It's a dumb thought. But it's not too far of a leap from reincarnation. It's just like, well, what if you reincarnate into like a hell planet that's like torture? That's probably not going to happen, but I guess I thought about that because there's this idea that you hear a lot with like multiple universes, where like the idea is if there are infinite universes, then anything you can imagine, there is a universe where that's happening. And I can imagine quite a bit. So like, what if there's a universe where like it's just torture? Your existence is torture, and like you live for 1,000,000 years. But every breath you take is like agony. Why do I think about that stuff? I don't know. But what if that place exists? I guess a small part of me, that is something that makes me want to be like, well, I don't want to die because maybe that might happen. I mean, like when I get suicidal thoughts or whatever, I'm like, well, could always be worse. You could wake up in a dimension where like It hurts to breathe. Right? Okay, I should end there. I don't know. Who knows? But on that uplifting note, I will say goodbye and see you tomorrow, and have a good day.